What is going on? It is Blake Kennedy with another episode of the Real Carolina Football Show. And I wanted to do something a little bit different than I've been doing. I wanted to get these videos a little shorter for you. I know the 30 minutes plus is just way too long for somebody to sit there and watch film. So I want to kind of reduce it down, and I want to start getting into individual players and understanding what players are good at and what they're capable of, and if the coaching staff is using them in the right way. Everybody wants to talk about Nyck Harbor, and Nyck Harbor is a special athlete with a lot of upside. So I wanted to go in and I thought about which game did Carolina probably play the best offensively and were the most balanced during that game. And for me, I remember the Texas A&M game. I know it was a home game, which helps us be a little bit more balanced in the run game. But I wanted to jump back into that game and understand why we were so successful, why we did a good job running the ball, why we did a solid job throwing the ball. We didn't have crazy numbers passing, but when we did throw the ball, we were hitting them for big plays, if you will. I know Simon had a big game, but Nyck Harbor did not have a big game, at least on the stat sheet. But he was vital in this game, and he is going to be vital for our success for next season. Is he a polished wide receiver that's ready to go out there and catch 80 balls and go for over 1,000 yards? It's just not going to happen this year, guys. If it does, I'll be completely surprised, and I'll be very pleasantly surprised. That would be amazing if a player goes from, I think he had right around 400 yards last season, maybe a little bit more, maybe closer to 500. But if he goes from that and more than doubles his production, I think he had about 26, 27 catches, which is kind of that wide receiver 2 range for a SEC school, which I'm not saying that he's going to be there. I would like to see another 200-300 yard jump from those numbers, and also dominate the game completely as a football player. And I'm going to show you why he was so important and what some of his capabilities are that you don't really notice in some games. I don't even know if he made a catch against A&M. Maybe he made a couple. I don't know what his stat line was. I didn't get into that. I don't want to get into that. The more important thing is, how do we use him? How do we keep him closer to the football to make a bigger impact on the game? When Nyck came to Carolina, he was considered an athlete, and he is one hell of an athlete. But he had not played receiver yet. But he had played a decent amount of football. So he was a good football player overall. So at 6'6", 240, whatever he is, with blazing speed, super long arms, what should he be great at off the bat? And something that he can control without having to get a ton of reps. Because that's what wide receiver needs. They need reps in the games to feel comfortable running the routes, feeling the zones, feeling the holes in the defense, and understanding where they are on the field so they can be confident to catch the football and to turn and run. Obviously, he has not made that step yet to where when he catches the football, he knows where the defenders are coming from, even though he's not looking that way. And he knows which moves to make to gain those extra yards. Similar to what Simon could do last year. You know, he was great at it. When he caught the football, he knew exactly which direction to run away from defenders, run away from zones, and get 3, 5, 7, 20 extra yards to enhance the offense. So Nyck's not there yet. I would love to see him make that jump this year, but I can show you some of the things that he already can do that Mike Shula should be looking at from last year. We didn't always do this, But in this game against A&M, we did it significantly. These are just highlights, full game highlights. I think this is his 13-minute video. This is specifically just highlights. This is not, every full game like I did last time. I wanted to just use the highlights because it's crazy. If you look at other games, Nyck split out wide more often than not. In this game, they put him closer to the line of scrimmage. I'm going to say a name, and I don't want people to, go hyperbole. Oh, he's comparing him to this player. No, I'm not. But the reason that Georgia was so good when they had Brock Bowers is because he was involved in the game completely. He wasn't just a pass catcher. He was brought in closer to the ball. Obviously, he's a tight end. But Nyck is a similar athlete to Bowers. They're big guys that can run. And when you have big guys that can run, they can overpower people such as safeties and corners. They should be too strong, and they should be able to block those guys and take them out of plays so you can run the ball better, so you can run screens better. Ladd McConkey's best friend was Brock Bowers because whenever they ran a screen, he would be the guy blocking for him. Pretty fun to do when you have that. Nyck can be that similar player, but they have to promote that to him. They have to entice him to be a great blocker. Michael Irvin, one of the biggest wide receivers, one of the best wide receivers ever, played for the Dallas Cowboys. One of the best blocking receivers ever. He was a man-child. And he wasn't even as fast as Nyck, but he impacted the game on every single play, and that's why those teams were super successful. And that's why you have Emmitt Smith, who broke the all-time rushing record, is because he has guys fighting downfield. And we're just going to jump right into this. These are just highlights. I haven't clipped anything. I'm just going to run through the highlights, and let's see what percentage of these plays that are positive, highlight plays, big plays throughout this game where Harbor is in that position. Okay, here we go. It's 4th and 1. I believe this is the first drive of the game. We really got off to a good start in this game. 0-0, 11:59 left. And here he is. This is his position. This is where I want to see him throughout the season because this is how you use his capabilities to his fullest potential. It's not always about catching and running and things like that. Let's see what he does at the top of the screen here. We're just going to run the ball on 4th down. He's tight to the line of scrimmage. He takes out the corner. Not a huge block there, but it's 1st down. Here we go again. Look where he is. This is where I want to see him right here. At the point of this bunch, he's looking at the defensive end. He's obviously got responsibility here. Mays does a good job as well. But watch this. He's not playing there as much as he should be, in my opinion. In this game, they played him in this spot the whole game. Watch this. Comes off the ball, gets the defensive end, gets some help from Mays, and it's a touchdown. Okay. Okay. So it's 1st and 5 here. We're paying attention to Nyck Harbor and what his capabilities are. They use him really good on this play. He's not as tight as he was before, but if you watch, they're going to use his speed to get a player open. They're going to get Simon open on that fadeaway that Sellers throws here in the first quarter after we get the 4th down stop. But you're going to see him take the top off the defense, and we're going to sneak Simon. We're going to use his speed as a decoy, and then we're going to sneak Simon over here. I love these tight formations to look for tight ends and for Nyck to play in there as well. So they bring the corner down, or the safety down, which is even worse. So you get the natural blitz there. So he's one-on-one, but he's going to run him off, and he's also going to take this guy with him. And we've got this whole side of the field wide open with a linebacker on with Simon. So another good plan to use Nyck's speed. Doesn't always have to get the football. Okay, here we go. 2nd and 5 here. Remember, these are just highlights. These are just highlights from the game. Look where Harbor is. This is where I want to see him, guys. This is his position. He's not a tight end, but he's not a full-time wide receiver. He can help you in the run game. Look how big he is. Let's see where he goes. Comes off the ball. Bang. Safety tries to fly in there early to support the run. He gets body on him early, moves him out of the way, and you get a big play. He pancaked that guy. Good vision by Sanders, but a really good job. I mean, this is where I want him. I want him to dominate the middle of the field. Get him involved in the game. Okay, here we go. 1st and 10. It's 14-6. We're making a drive here at the 30. Here he is, right here at this point of this bunch. Let's see what happens. It looks like they're going to run it right with Sellers here. They've got numbers. But let's just see what he does, because I think this is his spot. He's got his eyes on the DN. He works the DN. Look at that. This is the kind of stuff, guys, that when coaches do the right thing and put players in position to do well and make plays, it doesn't have to be them getting the football. It can be them just making plays. Look at this. He knows he's got the defensive end. They have a soft area right here. We have a guy for him. We have the tight end to help there if we need it. If Harbor dominates him on this down block, then he can keep moving on and we can have a big play. Harbor's got his eyes right there and just works him. Takes him completely out of the play. That's their defensive end. He's so versatile. That's what I'm trying to let people know, is they've got to get this guy in the box and let him play physically. Okay, get the ball back after they scored. It's the 2nd quarter. Look where he's at. I'm telling you guys, you look at other games, this is the only game that he played this position an extended amount of time. And in those positions, we ran the ball so well. Let's see what he can do here from the point. Comes off the ball. Bang. Takes the safety out of the game. Takes your tackler out of the game. Big play. God, I hope Mike Shula is going to watch this. Look at this. He's right here on the edge. You're running his way. He's a problem out here. These players right here, these safeties, they want to make tackles. They're tackling players. The corners aren't as much tackling players, so you don't have to worry about them as much. So watch him. This guy's got him man coverage. He's going to stay with him in man as he goes and blocks the safety. So pretty much he's taking out 2 players. Comes off the ball, takes him with him, takes out 2 guys, and you got a whole edge out there. I mean, it's not great defense by A&M, but it's incredible offense and calls by Dow Loggins at this point. Okay, 2nd and 10 here. You see where he's at. This was the whole game. This is why we were so successful running the football against a very, very strong physical defense who had a bunch of D linemen go in the draft and really have, throughout the year, had a really good secondary as far as being physical goes. And we made them really, really look soft, in my opinion. And this is the reason why. This guy was in here. He was close to the line, and he was taking people out. And we stayed with it. Look at this. He's still in there tight. Comes off. Bang. Safety's gone. Runs right by it. He's too big and tall and lanky. He's got long arms. Once he gets on you as a safety, it's really, really hard to get to disengage. Okay, So we get back into this tight formation. Nicholas Harbor, not too close to the line, but a little closer than your average receiver out here. 30 to 20, where we're trying to run 4-minute offense, is 2nd and 12. So in 2nd and 12 situations, we want to get some yards back, correct? So I love him at this position. Good things happen when he's close to the ball. I'm going to run this RPO here. It's a good pull read by Sellers looking at this defensive end. We don't block him. We let him go. He gets Josh has got good leverage on him to get outside of him. And look at Harbor. He's not worried about the corner. He's hunting bigger guys. He's hunting tacklers. Gets down inside, puts a body on somebody. All they've got is the corner. And we know Josh Simon can run with the ball. Really looking forward to see if Michael Smith can get that play down, because it's such a lethal play. And with Nyck Harbor in there and Brady Hunt and Sellers reading it, I think it can consistently be a big play like it was to Simon. So you don't block the end here. We got our eyes right on him. If we can get outside of him, if we feel like we can get outside of him, we're going to pull this ball. Harbor's supposed to block the end. He's not worried about the corner because the corner doesn't make tackles. These guys make tackles. So we put pressure on the guys that don't want to make tackles. And Simon's just too tough out there. So just to recap the video, I just wanted to point out how Nicholas Harbor can affect the game in other ways besides just catching the football and running. Everybody wants to see him run, catch and run, and do the things that maybe he's not totally comfortable with yet. He has made huge gains in progress, and I expect him to make a big jump. Do I think he's going to be a 1,000-yard receiver this year? That's asking a little too much. Can he get to that 650 to 800-yard range? I think he can. But the more important thing for him is to dominate the football game all the time, to be a nuisance for the other team, to know where he is. There was too many times last year where you're looking for Nyck. Where's Nyck? Why is he not involved? Is he on the field? Yeah, he was on the field a lot of times, but he was standing way out here, and we were running the ball, or we weren't really calling his number. And to be honest with you, he struggles a little bit blocking these smaller faster players. When he gets in here, he can block these defensive ends, he can block these linebackers, and he can block the safeties. And that's where he can have the most impact as well. I expect us to be a very good run team. As long as our running backs are good, this offensive line is going to be bigger. And if we throw him in here as well, you got a guy from Kentucky like Jordan Dingle, I think his name is, and then Brady Hunt, the two blocking tight ends they're going to have. We should be pretty rugged up the middle. And I look for Nyck to be right here blocking him, and him in the run game. And let's just watch probably the best play of the game, which was early in the game. And love Mays here as well. He's a good blocker. He's just a tough player overall. But we can watch them get on this end and double him and really set this play up. Bang, bang. Pretty much pancake block him. And it's a touchdown for Sellers. These are the type of plays that I would love to see from Nyck. And I'm not sitting here, like I said, I'm an expectations guy. I don't want to put too much pressure on Nyck Harbor to be that 1,000-yard Biletnikoff winner. But if he can do things like this, he can slowly continue to progress his game for scouts and the NFL to look at that maybe they don't see on paper. But it's important to notice these things, to show that Nyck is totally committed to football and he wants to be an overall football player. I'm excited to watch him this year. I think he's had to have a big jump forward. And if you like this video, please like, subscribe. People looking at my videos. I just started doing this and I want to keep doing it. I enjoy breaking down film and just talking football. So if you can, leave me a comment, subscribe to the channel. Appreciate you guys.